Have you ever wondered why some men don't have to chase attention, yet they naturally draw people toward them? Why certain men walk into a room and without even saying a word, they command respect? It's not luck, it's not money, it's something far more powerful: self-mastery. The reality is, attraction isn't built on tricks, cheesy pickup lines, or trying too hard. It's built on presence, composure, and emotional control. Women don't just fall for men, they admire those who move with certainty, discipline, and purpose. Think about the most captivating men in history. They weren't the ones desperately seeking approval or trying to impress everyone. They were the ones who stood firm, radiated quiet confidence, and let their actions speak louder than words. Welcome back to Stoic Spirit. Today, we'll break down 10 powerful social skills that will transform the way people perceive you. These skills aren't just about attracting women. They're about earning respect, increasing your influence, and becoming a man of true value. Why this matters. If you've ever struggled to make an impact in conversations, felt ignored, or wondered why some men seem to effortlessly stand out, this video is for you. The best part? These skills can be learned. They don't rely on genetics, status, or luck. They rely on how you carry yourself, how you interact, and how much control you have over your emotions. What you'll learn today: how to speak less but command more attention, the power of detachment and emotional control, how to make women naturally drawn to you without chasing, why most men fail to earn lasting respect, and how you can change that. The one simple trick to leave a lasting impression every time. And here's the thing, the final skill is the most underrated, yet most powerful one of all. Master it, and you'll never need to seek validation again. It will come to you naturally. Stay until the end, because this is a game changer. If you're ready to level up, hit that like button, subscribe to Stoic Spirit, and let's get started. Number 1. Master the art of presence. Most men are mentally elsewhere, overthinking what to say next, worrying about how they're being perceived, or seeking approval. But a high-value man, he is fully present. He doesn't try to impress. He simply exists in the moment with complete certainty. Presence is about more than just showing up physically. It's about projecting a calm, grounded energy that commands attention without effort. Women can sense when a man is truly there with them versus when he's lost in his own thoughts. The difference is night and day. Think about the most magnetic individuals you've met. They don't rush to fill silence, they don't fidget, and they don't break eye contact out of nervousness. Their stillness alone makes them captivating. They listen intently, process deeply, and respond deliberately. Example: you're on a date and she's telling a story. Most men nod absent-mindedly while thinking of their response. A man with presence, however, maintains eye contact, absorbs what she's saying, and reacts naturally, maybe a slight smirk, a raised eyebrow, or a thoughtful pause before speaking. That moment of true attention makes her feel seen, understood, and drawn to you. Now, presence doesn't mean staring intensely or being robotic. It means being engaged without being reactive. It means being aware of the moment without needing to control it. When you truly master presence, your energy alone influences those around you without a word. Practice. The next time you have a conversation, challenge yourself to slow down. Speak 20% less and observe 20% more. Resist the urge to plan what you'll say next. Instead, listen to understand, not to reply. One technique to reinforce presence is controlled stillness. When speaking or listening, minimize unnecessary movements. No fidgeting, no shifting weight, no darting eyes. The more grounded your physical presence, the stronger your perceived confidence. Another way to practice presence is through deliberate pauses. Before responding to a question, take a moment to breathe. Let a second of silence pass before speaking. This gives your words more weight and makes you appear more thoughtful and self-assured. Why it works. Women, by nature, are highly intuitive. They notice subtle energy shifts, nervous tics, and scattered attention. Presence signals something powerful: self-control. A man who is calm and centered under any circumstance is rare, and rare is always attractive. Final thought: the next time you enter a room, pay attention to your energy. Are you rushing? Are you scanning for approval? Or are you moving with a quiet, unshaken confidence? The difference between being overlooked and being noticed isn't about how loudly you speak, It's about how deeply you exist in the moment. Number 2, speak less, say more. Weak men talk too much. They overshare, over-explain, and try too hard to impress. They think more words equal more value, but the opposite is true. A strong man speaks with intention and precision. Think about the most charismatic men in history. They didn't rush their words or fill silence with nervous chatter. They knew that the fewer words they used, the more impact each one carried. The power isn't in how much you say, it's in the weight of what you say. Now, this doesn't mean you should be cold or distant. It means you should eliminate verbal clutter and speak only when necessary. When you do, people will listen. Example, instead of saying, "I think maybe we should go to that new place I heard about. If you're up for it," say, "Let's check out this new place. You'll love it." The first version sounds hesitant, uncertain, and approval-seeking. The second version is direct, confident, and assured. One makes her question if you believe in your own suggestion. The other makes her intrigued and willing to follow your lead. Another common mistake weak men make is over-explaining themselves. They feel the need to justify their choices or explain why they are worthy of attention. A strong man lets his presence and actions speak for themselves. Example, she asks, "Why don't you drink?" Weak response, "Oh, I just never really got into it, and I have some personal reasons too. Plus I think it's healthier and I just feel better without it." Strong response, "It's just not my thing." The weak response seeks approval. The strong response is short, neutral, and confident. Practice, mastering the power of brevity. Before speaking, pause for 2 seconds. Let silence build anticipation. When you do speak, make it concise and confident. Try this exercise. Think of a common question people ask you. For example, "What do you do for a living?" Write down the long-winded version of your answer. Cut it down by half. Then cut it down again to a single sentence that still carries impact. You'll notice that the shorter version always sounds more powerful. Why it works. Women are drawn to men who speak with certainty. It signals leadership and decisiveness. When you remove unnecessary words, you project clarity, confidence, and control. Next time you're in a conversation, pay attention to your words. Are you speaking just to fill the space, or are you letting each word carry weight? Speaking with confidence is one thing, but real power comes from controlling not just your words, but your reactions. Let's talk about emotional mastery. Do you find yourself talking too much in conversations? Try pausing before you speak, then share your experience in the comments. Number 3, control your emotional reactions. Most men lose their power by overreacting, whether it's frustration, insecurity, or neediness. The moment you let emotions dictate your actions, you give control to the person who triggered you. A Stoic man, on the other hand, remains centered. He does not let external events shake his composure. In today's world, where people react impulsively to everything, texts, social media, minor inconveniences, emotional control is rare and respected. A man who doesn't flinch, who doesn't seek validation, who doesn't get rattled easily, that's a man who commands attention. Imagine 2 different men in the same scenario. A woman cancels plans at the last minute. The first man gets upset, sends a frustrated message, or seeks reassurance. The second man responds with, "No problem, let's reschedule when it works." Then he goes on with his life, unbothered. The first man is controlled by his emotions. The second man, he controls himself. He shows that his time is valuable, but his peace isn't dependent on anyone else's actions. Why emotional control matters. Women instinctively test men, sometimes consciously, sometimes subconsciously. They want to see if you're stable, if you're secure, and if you can handle pressure. If a minor inconvenience throws you off balance, how will you handle real adversity? A man who can't control his emotions is a man who can't be trusted to lead. A woman takes longer to respond to a text. Do you overthink and double text, or do you continue with your day as if nothing happened? Someone disrespects you in public. Do you lash out and cause a scene, or do you maintain eye contact, stay composed, and respond with calculated confidence? A friend cancels plans. Do you take it personally, or do you understand that life happens and keep moving forward? Practice. The 3-second rule. Next time something triggers you, whether it's a text that annoys you, a rude comment, or an unexpected change of plans, pause. Take a deep breath. Count to 3 before responding. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Most of the time, it's not. That 3-second pause can save you from saying something impulsive, reacting out of emotion, or giving your power away. Why this works? The less reactive you are, the more influence you have. A man who stays calm under pressure, who doesn't break when things don't go his way, is naturally attractive. He is someone people look up to. Next time something doesn't go as planned, observe your emotions, but don't act on them. Let others be chaotic. Let others overreact. You remain unfazed. That's real power. Have you ever stayed completely calm in a situation where most people would have lost control? Drop a comment. I want to hear your story. Now that you've mastered emotional control, let's talk about something just as powerful. Choosing where you direct your attention. Because a man who values his energy never wastes it on things that don't serve him. Number 4. The power of selective attention. Most men spread their attention too thin. They seek validation from every woman, chase approval, and try to be liked by everyone. But here's the truth. The more freely you give your attention, the less valuable it becomes. A high-value man is intentional with his energy. He doesn't waste time trying to prove himself. He chooses where his attention goes and never gives it away cheaply. Think about a man who is always available, always responding immediately, always trying to impress. Women may enjoy the attention, but they never truly respect him. Why? Because he's too easy to get. And what is easy is rarely valued. Now contrast that with a man who is selective. A man who doesn't react emotionally to small tests, who isn't easily impressed, and who isn't desperate to prove himself. That man, he becomes a challenge. He becomes interesting. Example, how selective attention changes the dynamic. Imagine you're talking to a woman and she playfully teases you or acts a little distant to see how you react. A weak man gets flustered, seeks reassurance, or tries even harder to win her approval. A high-value man simply smirks, stays calm, and carries on as if nothing happened. He doesn't let small tests shake his confidence. This doesn't mean being rude or dismissive. It means you hold your frame. You don't overreact. You don't chase. You let people earn your energy. Practice the self-respect filter. Every time you feel the urge to impress someone, pause and ask yourself, am I doing this because I genuinely want to, or because I want their approval? Does this align with my self-respect and standards? If the answer is no, walk away. Not in anger, not as a game, but because your time and attention are too valuable to waste. Why it works. Women respect men who value themselves first. When your attention is selective, it becomes valuable. And when something is valuable, people naturally want it more. Attraction isn't about being the loudest, the flashiest, or the most available. It's about being someone whose attention is earned, not given freely. Next time you feel the urge to seek validation, pause. Let others chase approval. Let others react. You remain the man who chooses where his energy flows. That's the power of selective attention. Number 5. The art of subtle mystery. Most men think that being open and transparent about everything will make them more attractive. They believe that spilling every detail about their lives will build connection. But the truth? Oversharing too soon kills intrigue. Attraction is built on curiosity. The less someone knows about you, the more they want to find out. When you reveal everything up front, you remove the mystery. And when there's no mystery, there's nothing to discover. Think about the most charismatic and intriguing people you've met. They don't rush to explain themselves. They don't flood conversations with their life stories. Instead, they give just enough to spark interest, but not enough to remove the curiosity. Imagine a woman asks about your weekend. A boring answer, oh, I just worked out, went to dinner with some friends, watched a movie, and then caught up on some reading. A mysterious answer, it was interesting, I'll tell you about it sometime. Then you shift the topic. The first response gives her everything. There's nothing left to ask about. The second response leaves her wondering, what was interesting? What happened? This small moment creates intrigue. How to master subtle mystery. Being mysterious doesn't mean being secretive or playing games. It means you control the pace of how people get to know you. You allow them to wonder, ask questions, and feel like they're discovering something unique about you. Practice this in daily conversations. Give 80%, hold back 20%. The next time someone asks you something personal, don't give the full answer. Share just enough to be engaging, but leave room for curiosity. Answer with a hint, not a conclusion. Instead of saying, "I had an amazing experience last year when I traveled alone to Italy," say, "Let's just say that trip changed the way I see the world." Now, she has to ask why, and that's the moment when attraction builds. Redirect curiosity. If someone is overly eager to dig into your life, flip the conversation. "That's a good question. But first, tell me about your craziest trip." By doing this, you keep the attention balanced and maintain control of the interaction. Why this works. People chase what they don't fully understand. If you give someone every detail of your life right away, there's nothing left to pursue. Mystery creates interest. It makes conversations exciting and unpredictable. Next time you feel the urge to explain everything, stop. Leave something unspoken. Let curiosity do the work for you. That's how you keep people wanting more. A man of mystery intrigues, but a man of purpose commands respect. Let's shift from attraction to something even more important: self-mastery. Have you ever met someone who kept you intrigued just by how little they revealed? Let me know in the comments. Number 6. Prioritize growth over validation. Most men waste years chasing approval, whether from women, friends, or society. They adjust their actions based on external validation, trying to be liked instead of becoming someone worth respecting. The men who stand out, they don't chase validation, they chase growth. They have a vision for their lives that's bigger than seeking approval from anyone. And ironically, this mindset makes them far more attractive than the men who constantly seek reassurance. Why validation keeps you stagnant. When you rely on external validation, you let others dictate your sense of self-worth. If a woman compliments you, you feel great. If she ignores you, you start questioning yourself. This is a weak way to live. The problem? If you need validation to feel confident, you never truly own your confidence. It's borrowed, given to you temporarily by other people's opinions. The moment they take it away, you're back to square one. The alternative? Become a man who validates himself through his own actions, growth, and discipline. Example: focus on building, not impressing. Most men spend time worrying about what women think of them. But the men who naturally attract others, they focus on themselves. Instead of worrying about how she feels about you, focus on how you feel about your life. Instead of spending hours texting, spend hours building something that matters. Instead of asking, "How do I make her like me?" ask, "How do I become a man I admire?" Here's the paradox. The less you chase validation, the more respect you command. Women are naturally drawn to men who are too busy evolving to seek approval. Practice the 30-day growth challenge. To break free from validation seeking, set a personal goal that has nothing to do with relationships. It could be learning a new skill, getting in the best shape of your life, reading 10 books, or starting a side project. Make this goal your main focus for 30 days. No excuses. No distractions. Track your progress daily, not for anyone else, but for yourself. When you commit to growth, something shifts. Your confidence no longer depends on how others react to you. It comes from real achievements, real discipline, and real progress. Why this works? Women are drawn to men with purpose. A man who has direction, drive, and a clear vision for himself doesn't need to seek approval because his actions prove his worth. When you prioritize growth over validation, you become magnetic without trying. You no longer need to impress anyone because you're already too focused on becoming the best version of yourself. Final thought: the men who chase approval never grow. The men who chase growth never need approval. Choose wisely. Focusing on growth is key, but there's another resource even more valuable than validation: your time. And how you treat it determines how others will. Number 7. Value your time like a king. A man's time is his most valuable resource, yet most men give it away too easily, bending their schedules to accommodate others, saying yes to every request, and treating their time like it's infinite. But here's the truth: the way you treat your time is the way others will treat it too. When you overextend yourself, you become forgettable. Another man who's always available, always waiting, always accommodating. But a man who guards his time, who moves with purpose, who prioritizes himself first, he becomes respected. Why time is the ultimate currency. Think of the most successful, admired men in history. Do you think they let others dictate their schedule? Do you think they waited around, hoping for someone to fit them in? No, they owned their time, and because of that, people respected it. A man who values his time naturally commands more respect and attraction than one who doesn't. Why? Because people, especially women, are drawn to men who move with certainty, purpose, and direction. Picture this. You rearrange your entire schedule for someone who cancels last minute. They apologize, but deep down, you feel disrespected. Why? Because you gave away something priceless, your time. It's time to change that. Example: the power of setting the frame. Let's say you're making plans with a woman. Here's how the average man does it. Whenever you're free, just let me know. This signals weak leadership. You're handing control over to her, waiting on her availability rather than owning your time. Now, here's how a high-value man does it. I'm free Thursday at 7. Let me know if that works. This subtle shift changes everything. You're offering a specific time, not waiting for her to decide when you're available. You're showing leadership, decisiveness, and confidence. Practice the time value filter. Before agreeing to anything, whether it's a meeting, a date, or a favor, ask yourself one simple question. Is this worth my time? If the answer is no, politely decline. You don't have to be rude, just clear. If someone asks you for something that doesn't align with your priorities, say, I appreciate the invite, but I have other commitments. No over-explaining, no justifying, just a simple, firm response. This practice forces you to become more intentional with your time and eliminates things that don't contribute to your growth or purpose. Why this works? Women admire men who respect themselves enough to set boundaries. When you don't value your time, others won't either. But when you own your schedule, people will naturally see you as a leader, not a follower. This isn't just about dating, it's about how you carry yourself in life. When you move with a sense of purpose, people notice, they respect it, and they will adjust to fit into your world, not the other way around. Final thought. A man who values his time signals that he values himself, and nothing is more attractive than that. Number 8. Embrace silence as strength. Most men are uncomfortable with silence. They rush to fill every pause, over-explain themselves, or talk just to keep the conversation going. But a high-value man understands that silence is not emptiness, it's presence. He is not afraid of pauses, nor does he feel the need to constantly prove himself with words. Silence is a tool, a test, and a statement. It creates an air of confidence, a sense of control, and an aura of mystery that few men ever master. Why men fear silence? The average man feels an urge to fill every gap in a conversation. When there's a pause, he gets nervous, thinking, she's losing interest, I need to say something. This is awkward, I should crack a joke. If I don't respond fast, she'll think I don't care. This reaction comes from insecurity. It signals that you're uncomfortable with space, with patience, with letting things unfold naturally. But a man who embraces silence, he radiates power. Example, how silence shifts power. Imagine you're talking to a woman and she asks a challenging question. Why don't you talk about yourself more? An insecure man jumps in immediately, trying to justify himself. Oh, I just don't like talking about myself, but I have a lot going on, A strong man pauses. He lets the silence build. He maintains eye contact. Then he responds slowly, deliberately. I prefer listening. People reveal more when you let them speak. Now, instead of chasing the conversation, he's leading it. Practice. The silence challenge. To master the art of silence, try this. Resist the urge to fill pauses. The next time there's a silence in conversation, let it sit. Feel the discomfort. Let the other person speak first. Slow down your responses. Before you reply, take a 2-second pause. Breathe. Then speak with clarity, not urgency. Use silence in high-stakes moments. Whether negotiating, setting a boundary, or responding to criticism, pause before reacting. It forces others to lean in, listen, and take you more seriously. Why this works? Silence is not awkward, it's powerful. It signals confidence, depth, and emotional control. 3 rare qualities that demand respect. Women are drawn to men who don't feel the need to explain themselves constantly. Silence makes your words carry more weight. It keeps people guessing. It creates intrigue. Final thought. A weak man rushes to fill the silence. A strong man lets it work for him. Mastering silence isn't about saying less. It's about making every word matter more. Number 9. Display unshakable composure. Women, whether they realize it or not, constantly test a man's emotional stability. How you react in these moments defines whether she sees you as strong or weak. A man who gets flustered, defensive, or reactive signals insecurity, but a man who remains composed, unshaken, and in control immediately commands respect. Emotional control is rare. Most men let their feelings dictate their actions, but a high-value man moves differently. He understands that composure is a form of power, one that few men ever master. Why women test you? A woman might throw a sarcastic remark, playfully challenge you, or even act distant to see how secure you are in yourself. This isn't necessarily manipulation. It's often subconscious. Women are drawn to men who are emotionally stable, confident, and unshaken by external forces. When you pass these tests, you signal strength without saying a word. Imagine being in a heated debate. One man raises his voice, loses his temper, and scrambles to defend himself. The other man, calm and collected, simply smirks. Who holds the power? Composure isn't just attractive, it's dominance. Example, how a high-value man responds. Imagine you're on a date and she playfully says, "You probably say that to every girl." A low-value man reacts emotionally. "What? No, I don't. Why would you say that?" A high-value man stays cool, smirks, and says, "Not bad. You almost had me." By doing this, he shows that he doesn't seek approval, doesn't take himself too seriously, and remains unaffected. This response flips the frame. Now she's the one chasing his reaction. Practice the art of being unaffected. To develop this level of composure, try these exercises. Pause before reacting. The next time someone tries to provoke you, count to 3 before responding. This small delay helps you respond logically, not emotionally. Master the power of the smirk. Instead of getting defensive, learn to smirk, nod, or respond with playful confidence. Your reaction should say, "I've seen this before. I'm unfazed." Reframe every challenge as a game. Instead of feeling attacked, see these moments as opportunities to prove your emotional strength. Treat it like a sport, one where your goal is to stay cool under pressure. Why this works? Men who remain calm under pressure gain instant respect. They exude certainty, emotional intelligence, and quiet confidence. The moment you start reacting emotionally, you lose power. But the moment you remain still, observing, smiling, responding with control, you shift the dynamic in your favor. Final thought. Most men crumble when tested, but a man who masters his composure, he stands apart. He isn't led by emotions, he leads them. If any of these skills resonate with you, let me know. What's one skill you're already applying, and which one do you want to master next? What's one situation where you walked away at the right moment? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Number 10. The art of leaving on a high note. Most men don't know when to walk away. They linger in conversations, stretch out dates, or keep texting past the point of intrigue. But a man who knows how to leave at the right moment becomes unforgettable. Why? Because people don't remember entire experiences. They remember the last feeling you left them with. And if you leave at the peak of a great interaction, you become a lingering thought in their mind, rather than just another moment that faded away. Why most men stay too long? The average man doesn't want to leave when things are going well. He thinks, if I stay longer, she'll like me more. If I keep talking, I'll make a stronger impression. What if I miss a chance to take things further? But this mindset kills attraction. Instead of leaving her energized and intrigued, he overstays his welcome, dragging out the moment until it loses its impact. A high-value man, however, understands that leaving at the right time builds anticipation. He walks away on his own terms, ensuring he's remembered at his best. Example, how a high-value man leaves right time. Imagine you're on a date and everything is flowing smoothly. The chemistry is there, she's laughing, the vibe is perfect. Most men would keep going, afraid to cut it short, but the high-value man knows exactly when to exit. He smiles, leans in slightly, and says, "I've had a great time, but I've got to run. Let's continue this soon." Then he confidently gets up and leaves. No hesitation, no lingering, just a clean, self-assured exit. What happens next? She feels curious. That was fun, but why did he leave so soon? She feels intrigued. I want to see him again. She respects his self-control. A man who can walk away on his own terms is rare. Practice the peak exit rule. To master this skill, apply the peak exit rule in all interactions. End the conversation at its best moment. When the energy is high, don't wait for it to drop. Exit while the excitement is still strong. Keep your goodbyes short and certain. No long explanations, no drawn-out goodbyes. Just a simple, "This was fun. Let's do it again soon." Leave before they expect it. If you're texting, end the conversation first. If you're on a call, hang up while she still wants to talk. If you're in person, walk away while the moment is still warm. Why this works? A man who knows when to leave becomes a mystery. He never overstays, he never seems needy. He moves on his own terms, and that is magnetic. Women crave anticipation. They chase what feels just out of reach. And when you leave at the peak of a moment, you ensure that she thinks about you long after you're gone. Final thought. The best interactions aren't the longest ones. They're the ones that leave a lasting impression. Master the art of walking away at the perfect moment, and you won't just be remembered, you'll be missed. Final thoughts. Why this matters. These 10 skills don't just make you more attractive to women, they transform you into a man of true presence, value, and strength. This isn't about tricks, gimmicks, or manipulation. It's about who you become when you cultivate self-respect, emotional control, and unshakable confidence. Because here's the truth. The most respected men in history weren't the loudest. They weren't the ones chasing approval, seeking validation, or begging for attention. They were the ones who moved with purpose, who knew their worth, and who let their actions speak louder than their words. Women, and people in general, are drawn to men who stand firm in who they are. Not because they demand respect, but because they command it effortlessly through their mindset, their energy, and their unwavering sense of self. The challenge: who are you becoming? Look at the list of skills again. Which of these do you already embody? And more importantly, which one will you start mastering today? Because real attraction isn't about what you say, it's about who you are when no one is watching. If you cultivate these skills, you won't have to wonder whether you're respected. Respect will be a natural byproduct of your presence. Your next move. If this resonated with you, like this video if you found value in it. Subscribe for more Stoic wisdom, because self-mastery never stops. Comment, "I am the prize," because once you internalize that, everything changes. A final thought to remember. You don't chase respect, you embody it. Because the truth is, respect isn't something you ask for, it's something you become. The man you are today is shaping the man you'll be a year from now. Will you be the same, or will you be unrecognizable, stronger, wiser, more self-assured? When you become a man of value, the right people will recognize your worth without you ever having to prove it. So step up, walk with confidence, move with purpose, and let the world take notice. Thank you for watching. Your time, your presence, and your growth matter. Until next time, stay stoic, stay strong, and always remember, you are the prize. There's a moment in every man's life when he has to make a choice, to keep living as he is or to step into the man he was meant to be. The world doesn't hand respect to you. You earn it through the way you move, the way you speak, and the way you carry yourself. What will your story be? 1 year from now, when you look back, will you be the same man? Or will you have become someone who no longer needs to chase respect because you naturally command it? The choice is yours. What's one situation where you walked away at the right moment? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your story.